In a dimly lit room, a writer sat hunched over a desk, surrounded by crumpled paper and the faint flicker of candlelight. Their hand trembled as he gripped an antique pin, a strange, heavy thing he had found in a forgotten shop. It moved across the page with unnatural ease, as if it had a will of its own. The nightmares won't stop, the writer muttered to themselves, their voice hoarse from sleepless nights. Every time I close my eyes, shadows take form, faces I don't know but can't forget. The pen scratched to a halt, the ink, still wet, shimmered unnaturally in the candlelight, spelling out words the writer hadn't intended to write. You promised me eternity. Their breath hitched, the room seemed colder now, and the faint smell of smoke lingered in the air. Images flooded their mind, a grand ballroom, golden chandeliers, and a woman in a blood-red dress. Her laugh was like a melody, but it ended in a scream. The writer's hand trembling, desperate held a blade. I don't remember her, they whispered, shaking their head, but I feel her, like a shadow that's always been there. The pen began to move again, this time without their guidance. Words poured onto the page. You loved me once. You killed me once. Do it again. The writer dropped the pen, their chest heaving. But the room had grown darker, and in the reflection of the nearby window, they didn't see themselves in it. She was there. The ghostly woman stood behind them, her eyes filled with sorrow and fury. Her voice was a whisper, soft but sharp as a blade. Finish the story, or I will. The writer's hand was no longer their own. The pen dragged it across the page, writing feverishly as tears streamed down their face. We are bound by ashes and ink forever. The woman leaned closer, her icy touch brushing the writer's shoulder. The last candle flickered out. The next morning, the room was silent. On the desk sat a completed manuscript, its title scrawled in elegant ink. Ashes and ink. The chair was empty, and if you listened closely, you could still hear the pen scratching against paper, accompanied by a faint whisper. Some stories never end.